Good morning, students. Welcome back to the video for Letter to God. We had already discussed the summary, and we were in the process of discussing the paragraph. The story written by G.L. Fuentes is about a Mexican farmer named Lenco who lost his crop. That we figured out. The man knew his fields very closely. He was right when he predicted that it would rain, and because his crop needed one good rainfall, he was expecting a prosperous harvest, but he was unfortunate. His crops failed due to the rain turned into a hailstorm, and it was a big hailstorm. It destroyed everything in its path, including Lenco's crops. The entire valley was covered with hailstones, and it looked like they were covered with salt. So his entire crop failed, and three things came into Lenco's mind: that all his efforts had gone down the drain, and his family would starve to death that year because he had no other source of income. Now we continue with our detailed explanation, paragraph wise. So the next paragraph said, even after everything had gone southwards, which means gone wrong, the family still had hope in their hearts of hearts. They had faith in the Almighty even after nothing was left. They gave each other support and recalled a saying which assures that no one ever dies of starvation. That's what Lenco's wife actually suggested, not to worry too much because no one ever died of starvation. Lenco spent the entire night thinking of the only option left, and that was to seek the help of God, who had been informed, has its eyes and ears everywhere. He thought of writing a letter to God, conveying his grievances. Despite spending all these years working at the farm, he still knew how to write. He started writing on the Sunday morning and thought of mailing it himself by going to the town. The wife reassured Lenco that nobody died of starvation, so he should stop worrying about it, while Lenco had immense faith in God. When he was grown up, he was told that God sees everything. So he thought of writing a letter to God to let him know about his grievances, the problems he faced. And Lenco had spent his entire life in the farm. He was a farmer, ox of a man, worked very hard. He could work very hard, but somehow he had learned to read and write. So he wrote a letter, and he decided to mail the letter himself by going to the town and visiting the post office. In his letter to God, he communicated his poverty-stricken situation and mentioned that he needed 100 pesos to regenerate the crops along with surviving until they are ready to harvest. On the envelope, he wrote to God, then at the post office placed stamp on the letter and dropped it in the mailbox. So he felt he needed 100 pesos to survive and raise another crop. And till the crop was ready to harvest, he needed to survive. And for that, to raise a crop and to survive till his next harvest, he needed 100 pesos. But he didn't know the address of God, so he just simply wrote to God on the envelope. And he placed the stamp on the envelope and posted it in the mailbox. The postman, who was also an employee of the post office, noticed Lenco's letter and showed it to the postmaster. They both felt amused, but the postmaster, fat and friendly, immediately developed a sense of seriousness. He was astounded at the amount of faith Lenco has in God and wished he had the same. Now, the postman, while emptying the mailbox, noticed this letter. He showed it to the postmaster. First, they found it funny, but then the postmaster got serious. Why did he get serious? Because he was astounded by the amount of faith Lenko had on God. And he wished he too had the same amount of faith on God. With good intentions, the postmaster read the letter and thought of replying to it so as to keep the writer's belief intact. But the writer expected the reply in a different way that could not be fulfilled with pen, paper, and morals. The farmer had demanded 100 pesos. The postmaster, along with his colleagues and a few friends who were more than willing to donate for a good cause, collected a pool of money to help Lenko. Right? So the postmaster's intention was good. He knew that Lenko needed a reply to that letter. Why? To keep his faith in God intact. But the problem was a simple reply wouldn't do. Lenko had demanded 100 pesos. So they had to collect that amount somehow. So the postmaster, along with the co-workers and a few friends who were obliged to contribute for a good cause, they collected some amount of money so that they could help Lenko. Despite his best efforts, he was only able to collect an amount not more than half of what was required. He then addressed it to Lenko along with a letter which was undersigned by God. He just signed God underneath it. He wrote nothing, the postmaster, so that Lenko believed the money has been sent by God. Next Sunday, Lenko came looking for the reply a bit earlier than expected. The postman handed him the letter, waiting to see how joyful and surprised, while the postmaster, feeling satisfied, oversaw it from his office. On the contrary, the farmer got disheartened on seeing that the money was less than what he had asked for. His faith is still undeterred, and he believed that God cannot make such a mistake. So the postmaster tried his best to collect 100 pesos, but it was a big amount and it was not possible for him to gather that amount of money. He could collect just a little over the half the amount. When Lenko arrived the next Sunday, the postman gave him the envelope which had that letter undersigned God along with the money that they had collected. They were expecting Lenko to be jubilant having received a reply and be happy. But on the contrary, Lenko felt dissatisfied when he found the money was short. His faith was still undeterred on God, and he believed God could not make such a mistake. If he had asked for 100 pesos, he should be getting 100 pesos. On being disappointed, he started looking for ink and paper to write to God again. While writing, his eyebrows got curled out of the concentration with which he was drafting a new request. On completing, he affixed it with a stamp. As soon as he dropped it to the mailbox, the postmaster took it out to read it. Lenko complained that he had only received 70 pesos and he is really in need of remaining amount. He doubted the integrity and honesty of the post office employees and suggested that the money should not be sent via post because he doubted that the staff of the post office must have stolen the missing amount. Now a few word meanings. Crest is top of a hill, dotted means full of, downpour means heavy rain, intimately means closely, exclaim is to cry out in sudden surprise. Regarded, it means considered or thought of. Draped means covered. Hailstone is a pellet of hail. Resemble, have a similar appearance to or qualities in common with. Exposing, make something visible by uncovering it. Plague, a destructively numerous inflow or multiplication of harmful animal infestation. Locust is insects which fly in bee groups and destroy crops. Solitary is which exists alone or lonely. Conscience is the inner sense of right or wrong. Ox of a man means hardworking. Daybreak, the time in the morning when daylight first appears. Pesos, the basic monetary unit of Mexico and several other Latin American countries. Amiable, friendly and pleasant. Correspondence, communication by exchanging letters with someone. Goodwill means friendly, helpful, cooperative feeling. Resolution is a firm decision. Oblige means grateful. Contentment is satisfaction. So this will be, now we come to the question and answer. What did Lenko hope for? Lenko hoped for a good rain as it was much needed for a good harvest. Why did Lenko say the raindrops were like new coins? Lenko compared the raindrops with new coins because they were promising him a good harvest, resulting in more prosperity. Now, question number 3. How did the rain change? What happened to Lenko's field? The rain changed into hailstones as a strong wind began to blow and huge hailstones began to fall along with the rain. All the crops in Lenko's field got destroyed because of the weather conditions. Lenko was filled with grief after the hail stopped, as everything was ruined and there was nothing that he could feed his family with. He could see a bleak future of him and his family. So this would be all for today. We will be taking up this chapter again in our third and final video, where the remaining of the questions would be discussed. So till we meet again, you stay home, stay safe, study hard, and my best wishes are with you. Goodbye.